Hi YouTube, what's up? Recently, I've been wanting to get a second monitor for my desktop PC. I only have one monitor, I don't have a second one. I want to get a second one and I want to use it in portrait mode. I want to have a second monitor as a vertical monitor so that, for example, I can have YouTube open on the second monitor while I'm doing something on my main monitor. I was actually able to find a monitor for this very purpose. This is a 22-inch monitor from LG. I was able to get this used. This monitor also has a VESA mount, so I should be able to use it in portrait mode. Thankfully, the seller also sold me his VESA mount as well, along with the monitor. He had a Amazon Basics VESA mounting kit, and he sold me both the monitor and the VESA mounting kits. The VESA mounting kit it came in this box. It's really heavy. The first thing I want to do is install the VESA mount so that I can put the monitor on the VESA mount once the VESA mount has been installed. This is the box that the VESA mount came in. So like I told you, I was able to get this VESA mount as well as the monitor used. So the seller has used them before me. This is an Amazon Basics VESA mounting kit. I'm not sure how other VESA mounting kits are. It comes with everything. It has the stand, it has the arm that swivels, and it has a bunch of other accessories like these clips used for routing the cables. All the screws are indeed present, by the way. I'm sure that there is a user manual for this thing as well, just in case I needed instructions on how to assemble this thing. But I think it should be fairly easy to assemble. First thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna install the clamp that clamps onto the table. I'm gonna mount this clamp behind the table, and I actually want the monitors to be on the left hand side of this desk set up. So I'm gonna place the mount on the back left side on the table. I have the clamp, I have both the parts of the clamp with me right now. So the way I think you need to assemble the clamp is, the first thing I need to do is assemble the clamp itself. This is the top part. I think this one goes on top of the table. The way you need to assemble it is, it has like these three sets of holes. The one on the top, one in the middle, one on the bottom. That's for, well, if your table is really thick, then you need to use the set of holes that go at the bottom. And then you have this thing. You can see there's two holes behind. So that attaches onto the sets of holes on this thing. And I will be using the top set of holes because the table that I have isn't really that thick. It's not really that thick. The wood it's very strong. It has like a metal reinforcement, the table itself, but the wooden part, it's not really that thick. It's strong wood, but not thick. So I'll just be using the top sets of. I'm back and I just assembled this clamp thing. You can see I screwed in the screws provided in the box. All the box and even the tools for tightening the screws are provided in the box. Here's one of the tools. It's like an Allen key. I think you call this an Allen key. I'm not really sure. It has like a hexagonal head, and you can use that to tighten the screws for this clamp. Now I'm gonna attach this onto the desk at the back, on the backs here on the back. But before I do that, I need to install this. This is the whole entire body of the mounting kit, the VESA mounts. It's like the stand itself. So I need to put this on the clamp on the top. The clamp has like 3 holes on it at the top, and I need to screw this in. This stand has holes at the bottom, the 3 holes. The hole in the middle, I think the hole in the middle is it's not really meant for anything, because this clamp itself does not have a hole in the middle. But yeah, I need to install this stand onto the clamp, and after that I'm gonna put the clamp onto the desk with the stand side standing up on top, because like it wouldn't make sense to put the clamp upside down so that the stand was at the bottom. The stand also has a cutout at the back. It has a cutout. This is for cables. That's for cables. And the top of the stand is just a hole. It's just one big giant hole so that the cables can go through if you want to have a clean look. Okay, so I've installed the stand onto the clamping thing. You can see that here. I installed the screws. If you're wondering, why did I install the stand before putting the clamp on the table? Well, I did that because if I were to just put the clamp on the table and then try to install the stand, like this stand onto the clamp, I wouldn't be able to do that because these screws are over here, and this thing gets sandwiched between the table. So I won't actually be able to tighten the screws once the clamp is put on the table. Now comes the tricky part. I need to put this clamp onto the back of this table, and I'm gonna try and do that. Look at that! Look at that! There it is. I'm gonna tighten this. Perfect. I tightened it. That thing was really heavy, so I tightened it, and now the stand, it's right there. Okay. The next thing I want to do is install this arm, the VESA mount arm. This thing is super heavy. I have to say, this thing is from Amazon Basics, and it's such good quality. It's not loose in any way. The arm itself, it doesn't wobble like this is it's super tight, super hard to like even bend. I'm gonna put this on to that stand, that pole thing, and it comes with like a clamp here. It comes with a clamp, and I should be able to tighten it so that it doesn't move up and down. Now that the VESA mounting kit has been, I put it on the table, I'm gonna take out this monitor. This is the monitor. It's not fancy in any way. It's a 22-inch. I don't know if this is a VA panel, an IPS. Yeah, it says IPS on the side of the box. I don't really think it makes much of a difference to me. It has like a little bit of the packing material on it, the small bits of it. I'll clean it up. I have a microfiber cloth just for this. So this monitor, at the time of selling it, the seller he showed me that yeah, it works. So we did test it out just to make sure it works. It doesn't have any dead pixels or anything, and I think it's for a used monitor, not bad. This particular monitor features AMD FreeSync. The monitor which I'm using right now, the one up there, it's a 27-inch BenQ monitor. It doesn't have FreeSync, it doesn't have NVIDIA G-Sync. Not that I really care about this kind of stuff. I think it's just mostly a gimmick. I'm sure it may reduce staring, but if you enable VSync in games, it's going to do the same thing. So the monitor which I'm using right now, it's only 60 Hertz. This one, this LG one, apparently it can do 75 Hertz. So at least that's what is advertised. But I'm not really sure if it does 75 Hertz. It definitely has AMD FreeSync though. But truth be told, whether or not this monitor can do 75 Hertz or if it doesn't really make a difference. Even if it was able to do 120 Hertz, it really wouldn't make a difference to me, because I'm going to be running this monitor at 60 Hertz. I play my games at 1080p 60 FPS, and 60 Hertz seems like the best sweet spot to me. And also, since I'm not going to be using this monitor as my main monitor, just going to be using it as a secondary monitor, I don't really plan on playing any games on it. So 60 Hertz seems like good enough for me at this point in time. The box also comes with a plug for the monitor and the stand for the monitor, but I really won't be using the monitor stand because of the VESA mounts. Now, before I mount the monitor onto the VESA mount, I'm gonna need to install the bracket, the VESA mounting bracket, onto the monitor. You can see how the VESA mounting kit has this clamp on it, and the clamp clamps onto the arm of the VESA mount in this way. So in the box for the VESA mount, you get like 8 screws that go into the back of the monitor. There's like a thicker screw, a screw with a thicker thing, and a screw that's a bit thinner. This depends on the monitor. Some monitors accept a thicker screw, some monitors may only accept a thinner screw, so you get both of these styles of screws. For this monitor, I will be using the thinner one because that's what this particular monitor accepts. Okay, that was easy. So basically I just clamped the VESA mount that's installed onto the monitor onto the arm of the VESA mount itself. Now that the monitor has been installed, let me install the cables. Okay guys, there's a small problem that I need to talk about. This isn't really a problem, more so it's more like an inconvenience. The issue is that my GPU, the one I'm using right now, well, usually all modern GPUs, they only come with one HDMI output, and both these monitors, the one I'm using right now, the BenQ 27-inch and this 22-inch LG, both of them have HDMI inputs, but they don't have DisplayPort inputs. My graphic card has one HDMI output and 3 DisplayPort outputs, but both these monitors only have HDMI inputs. None of them have DisplayPort inputs. So we have 2 monitors with HDMI inputs and we only have one HDMI output. What am I gonna do? Well, I actually came prepared. I purchased this cable on Amazon. This is a DisplayPort to HDMI cable. It has a DisplayPort input. You can see that here. Wait, let me show it to you. What this cable does is it has a DisplayPort input right here, so I can plug the DisplayPort part into the back of my graphics card, and it has an HDMI output. So I can plug the HDMI output into the back of my monitor. This way I can use the DisplayPort out on my GPU, and I should be able to use it with any monitor which has an HDMI input. So I was able to get this cable on Amazon. It's an Amazon Basics cable, so it's a cable sold under the Amazon brand. It's really good quality. It wasn't so expensive, and it's fairly long. I believe this one is 6 feet long. The only downside to using this cable is that I won't be able to play sound through the monitor. Like if I want to watch a YouTube video, and if I want to play sound through the monitor itself, that the monitor does have speakers, so the cable does not support like sound. I think that's going to be a slight issue. However, it's not really an issue because I don't really use the onboard monitor speakers ever anyway, nor do I plan on doing so, nor do I intend to do so. So really, it's not really a big deal for me. So I just plugged in the DisplayPort to HDMI cable into this new monitor, and it just works. I don't really have to do anything. I did mess around in the settings for the NVIDIA control panel, and I also messed around with the monitor's own inbuilt settings to make it look as good as possible. Between my BenQ 27-inch monitor and the LG 22-inch monitor, I have to say, I feel like the LG is slightly more dull. Like the colors are not so vibrant. The panel doesn't really pop. It almost feels like, it's almost as if the LG monitor has a thin film, a haze. It feels like at least on the BenQ monitor you had like the monitor has like inbuilt it has a tighter, you can adjust the RGB range, you can make it a little bit more tight, and I've done that and it looks really nice. The contrast on my BenQ monitor is a lot nicer, but on the LG it just looks a lot more flat. Everything looks flat. It's very bright. It's not like it's not bright, but it feels like it's lacking that deeper contrast. That's not to say that it's bad or anything. As far as a second monitor is concerned, I think this is a fantastic second monitor. I think this was a fantastic purchase, especially because I was able to get the monitor and the VESA mounting kit together at once. Otherwise, I would have had to purchase the VESA mounting kit separately. Maybe in the future I would like to upgrade. What I would like to do in the future is the 27-inch monitor which I have right now, I'll use that as a second monitor, and I'll probably get a 32-inch 4K monitor. But that's for some other time, mainly because at this point I'm not interested in 4K gaming. I'm not interested in playing games at 4K. Right now I prefer playing games at 1080p 60 FPS. That's my preferred resolution and frame rate. In most games I don't really go above 60 FPS. I always enable VSync, so it just caps it at 60 FPS, because VSync tries to use, like, if your monitor is running at 60 Hz, then VSync is gonna try to have your game play at 60 FPS to match the Hertz, so that the game refresh rate and the monitor's inbuilt refresh rate, they match up. This is why I personally prefer using VSync, and I play at 60 FPS. Okay guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you guys enjoyed watching it. I really had fun making it. Hopefully you guys can see me in the next video. Goodbye.